Actually been a long time since I came on here to talk about stock recommendations and it's been a while I gave you guys update, but like I said in the Telegram group, I have been really busy with a lot, and I've been everywhere here and there, but this is actually almost 12 a.m. and this is midnight. But I said, you know what, I was just going to quickly come on here and just give you guys a few updates and a few opportunities that I'm looking to take or I've actually taken. But if you want to join, you can also make use of this opportunity. And like, this is not financial advice in any way. Anything I always share on here is just for educational purposes only. Okay, so there's this company I've been taking a look at lately. Um, 1 second, let me quickly pull it up. Sorry. Let me try to get the. So there's this company that is currently or I have actually added to my stock investment portfolio, especially for 2026. They have a lot of upside advantage. I think this particular company, I think I'll be holding their stock for a good amount of time. I actually just loaded around 50,000 shares, unit of shares from the company. I think it's currently trading at, let's see the price right now. It's currently trading at, sorry, let me quickly pull it up. It's currently trading at 14 naira 60 kobo. Right, it's currently trading at 14 naira 60 kobo. And like you can see, it's actually still slightly undervalued. The last high point was around 16 naira 50 kobo. Okay, but right as of today, it is at 14 naira 60 kobo. So I think it has retraced slightly. Okay, but this company has a lot of potential to the upside, even to get to 20 to 30 naira, because it's actually in the emerging is one of the emerging markets that we're currently seeing, and investors are very confident about this company, and I'll tell you why shortly. And if they're actually offering a public offer, but I'm going to talk more on that later in the video. So yes, basically my analysis so far on this company called the Initiates PLC. um um like I said, I already loaded around 50,000 unit of shares on this particular company. um I was able to get in on one of their public offerings. I think it's their secondary public offering, yeah. SPO, but I'm gonna tell you guys more on that, later in the part of the video. But here's my analysis basically that I was able to sort of do on this particular stock. Let me see if I can increase this. Can I increase this a little bit? Let me see. I'm trying to increase this. Okay, I think this should be good. All right, so here's my analysis. So usually I like to go from macro analysis to the micro analysis. That is how I like to value a stock that I'm going to buy. So this is sort of an example to show you guys some of the homeworks I have to do before I actually buy any stock. A lot of people just buy stocks, they don't know why they are buying stocks. That is not a good way to invest. There's something Warren Buffett always says, about stock investing. One rule about stock investing, one rule about stock investing is to never invest in what you uh don't under understand. Okay, that's one of the major rules before investing. So always make sure that you have clear understanding of what you're investing in. If not, you might as well not put $1 in it. Okay, so basically this is my macro analysis on the Initiate PLC right now. So looking at the market conditions and economic factors, I said TIP operates in the waste management and industrial cleaning services industry. So they are into basically waste management and industrial cleaning, which is an emerging industry right now in Nigeria. It's actually is really is quite booming, but it's very subtle. Not a lot of people understand what goes on in there, but trust me, investors like myself are beginning to pay attention to that sector in the economy. As such, it is somewhat insulated from direct economic volatility due to the essential nature of these services. We all know that, uh, take for example in Lagos here, waste management is a major issue, and in other parts of the country as well, in Nigeria. The issue of waste management can never be overemphasized. It's something we need. It's something that will continually be very crucial in our economy and even in our society. Because how would we function? How will businesses function? How will people live? If waste and is not properly organized. So you see that the potential of this company is very high because they will not be affected by a lot of economic volatility. Maybe this news today, that news today, whatever news there is, there would always be a need for people who do waste management. You can never rule them out, never. You know what I'm saying? So, however, it can still be impacted by broader economic factors such as inflation, interest rate, and GDP growth. GDP growth. For instance, higher interest rates can increase the cost of borrowing. I'm sure you guys understand that concept. When um, interest rate is high, definitely borrowing cost goes up. So the cost of finance goes up, and then those companies will not be able to borrow enough money for expansion and scaling their business. Okay, so which can pose a issue for the economy on a macro level. Okay, which might affect TIP's ability to finance new projects. Conversely, the shift towards more sustainable practices in waste management could provide long-term growth opportunities for the Initiate PLC. When you see TIP, it simply means the Initiate PLC. So that is just overall outlook on the macro level. And then if we look at industry trends, the waste management sector, which includes waste collection, disposal, and recycling, is expected to continue growing due to increased environmental awareness and regulatory charges. TIP's expansion into industrial cleaning services also positions it well to benefit from growth in sectors such as oil and gas, which require decontamination services. So you see that they are expanding their scope of business, which is very, very good. And this definitely creates more opportunity for them uh to grow, which which investors like to see, which investors love to see. Sorry, let me just take this here. And Nope, what am I doing? Okay. um okay, all right, well, sorry guys, just give me 1 second. Let me try to pull their company's page out so that way you can see what company we're talking about here. So I mean, from their website, basically you can see they're into industrial cleaners and waste managers. So they're into industrial cleaning and also waste management. Okay. This is their current website, initiategroup.com. So now let's dive deep into if you look here into the micro analysis. Now, company specific data. So I was able to go through their financial statements. All of this is on their website. I did all the hard work for you guys, right? So that you guys won't have to do that. And I was able to take out some metrics. Usually investors, we like to look at certain metrics in the financial statements. If you guys don't know, I was actually an accountant some point in my life. While I was in corporate, I was an accountant, and so I was able to understand a couple of these things. In accounting, we understand income statements, we understand financial statements, we know how to read financial data to make financial information. So that is one edge I have, and which has also helped me in how I invest in certain companies, because I always like to look at the financial statements, look at their reporting, and be able to take specific data analyze those data, then make some informed decisions if I'll buy the stock, if I'm just going to hold for a short while, if I'm going to sell after a couple of months. It just helps, it guides, how I invest. Okay. So from their financial statements, this was some of the highlights I was able to capture. From their income statement, you can see revenue says TIP has shown impressive growth with a 49.75% increase in revenue for the third quarter of 2025. Sorry, 1.99 billion compared to Q3 of 2024, which was 1.33 billion. So this increase is even more pronounced year to date, YTD, with 129.39% growth, um, 5.3 billion compared to 2.3 billion in 2024. So in 2025, in other words, what is this is just saying is that they had increase in revenue. Okay. Which is something I always like to look for whenever I'm going to choose a stock that I would invest in. And then if you look at their profitability, gross profit has increased significantly from 461.91 million in Q3 of 2024 to 1.4 billion in Q3 of 2025. The net profit before tax for the quarter is 1.27 billion compared to 430 million 95 in Q3 of 2024, indicating better cost management and improved operational efficiency. So basically, you could look at, you could see that, when revenue increase, it means that, how they manage their cost is very operational. Sorry, it's very efficient. The management is doing a good job. Because for a company to experience this kind of growth, given the fact that definitely they will still maintain some recurring cost and all of these things, they will need to hire more people, buy more equipment and all these things, yet they were still able to increase their revenue. So it signals a lot of positive uptrend, overall for the company, from Q3 of 2024 to Q3 of 2025. And if you look at their balance sheet, all this information is available on their website. You can see their assets. TIP has seen substantial growth in its assets, with total assets reaching 7.4 billion as of September 2024. You know that this company is not a small company. A 96.31% increase from 3.77 billion in 2024. This is largely driven by an increase in trade receivables. If you did accounting or if you have studied financial statements, you should know what trade receivables are. Inventories and cash reserves. So you can see that their asset holdings is showing strong growth. This is things we investors we love to see. And liability says TIP's liability have slowed down, with total liabilities increasing by 48.66%. So you can see that their assets grew a lot more than their liabilities, which, like I said, we love to see. However, the company's debt ratio remains manageable, with long-term borrowings decreasing by 50% from 400 million to 200 million, which is quite is manageable. And then their cash flow, TIP's operating cash flow has improved significantly from 232 million 59 to in Q3 of 2024 to 625.7 million in Q3 of 2025, indicating that the company is generating more cash from its core operations. So you can see the cash flow means that they are able to see more money, liquid assets, in the company. There was also a significant reduction in borrowing during the period, which could indicate better financial health and reduce reliance on debt for financing. That is very self-explanatory. I wouldn't want to go through all this ratio and metrics. I wouldn't want to bore you guys with those thing, but let's just move straight to market sentiment and news. So investor sentiment, the stock price has seen a significant increase from 1 naira 90 kobo in 2024. So the stock price, this was the stock price amount as at 2024. um Sorry, how do I make this um Okay, I just wanted to. But anyway, you guys can see this part I highlighted. It says, yeah, in 2024, yeah, the stock price was around a naira 90 kobo, and as of today, actually, when I was creating this write up, and when I was doing my analysis on the company, it was around 14 naira 60 kobo. But as at yesterday, it rose to 16 naira something, and today, let's go back and see. Today is at 14 naira 60 kobo, so it's back at where it was. Sorry, let me just. I'm actually on a NQ trade. Okay, I see it's growing nicely. So back to what we were doing. Um, there we go. All right, uh, yes, so this reflects growing investor confidence in TIP's future prospects, driven by strong revenue growth. I mean, if you look at their financial statements, you could see strong revenue growth, profitability, and strategic investment in waste management and industrial cleaning services. So overall, I'm highly bullish on this stock. Like I said, I was able to get in on a public offer where I was able to buy it for lesser than this current market price, and that public offer is still open for investors. But if you want me to show you how I was able to buy it, I actually was able to buy it for 9 naira 50 kobo, and um I think the public offer closes on the 12th of this month. So they're having a public offering. So they are selling their stock for a discounted amount. This is where investors make a lot of money. So we can buy the stock for 9 naira, and guess what? By the time the offer closes and they distill the shares, they allocate the shares. Guess what? I will already be in profit without doing anything. Without doing anything, I will already be in massive profit already. Like I told you guys, I loaded 50,000 units of shares. So multiply that times the increase. So if you want to get in, I'm going to put an email where you can reach out to me and I can guide you on the process to how you can get in quickly on this stock, because it closes on the 12th of January, and then after that you might just buy it for the current market price and hopefully pray that it goes up. But I believe that this stock actually has very strong momentum to the upside. So recent news: tips of social growth in revenue and profitability is likely to attract more attention from analysts and investors like myself. However, the increase in trade receivables and risks of delayed payment from customers as seen in the aging of receivables could pose a concern in the short term. So this is just some short-term concerns. So overall, this is my investment recommendation, and like I said, this is not financial advice. It's just my own analysis. If I were to give a holistic view on tip to know if it's a good long-term or short-term investment, here's my point. I said long-term investment. Tip shows significant growth potential based on its strong revenue and profit growth, improved profitability ratios, and strong market positioning in the waste management and industrial cleaning sectors. Given the industry trends towards environmental sustainability and the company's expanding service portfolio, TIP could be a solid buy and hold for long-term investors. Like, for myself, I plan to hold for a while. And on a short-term basis, although TIP has shown impressive growth, the high receivables turnover and risks of delayed payments may cause some short-term volatility. However, with strong cash flow generation and reduced debt levels, it could still be a good option for short-term gains, particularly if there is more positive news or a favorable market sentiment driving the stock price up. So overall, I'm very bullish on this stock. I am very, very bullish on this stock. I think this stock has a lot of growth potential. So if you want me to guide you through the process of actually getting in, I want you to send me an email on obedfavor5 at gmail.com. So this is the email. So shoot me an email on there. Also, you can join my Telegram group. The link will be in the description of this video, where I share updates and all whatnot. So this company is a very, 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 very lucrative company, very lucrative stock. It could literally help you, you know, quit your 9 to 5. Literally, just imagine putting like 10 million in this stock. Trust me, the gains will be massive. The gains will be massive. I can promise you that. All right, so that'll be all for that. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly come on here. It's already 12 a.m. So listen, I'm very tired. I had a very long day. I had several meetings I had to attend. I also have some big projects I'm trying to finalize, which I'll be announcing soon. So if you're interested, shoot me an email, then I can guide you, and it's just not free, just so you know. I'm going to create probably a small group where I can be giving guys insider information on how you can get in on opportunities like this. So if that's something you're interested in, send me an email and just let me know you, and I will see if you're a good fit. And then don't forget to like the video. The only way you can encourage me to keep giving you guys info like this is by subscribing. Make sure you comment and like the video as well, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully this recorder, I just hope you recorded everything I just said, because I'm too tired to redo this video. But all right guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.